Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Cartooning. Let's take a look at some of your art. Great job guys. For today's lesson, we're going to need sugar, spice, and everything nice. Today we're doing the Powerpuff Girls. The Powerpuff Girls was an animated action-adventure series on Cartoon Network, created by writer and cartoonist Craig McCracken. Debuting in 1998, the Powerpuff Girls followed the adventures of three kindergarten-aged girls, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, who just happened to have incredible superpowers. While trying to create the perfect little girl, Professor Utonium used the classic mixture of sugar, spice, and everything nice, but accidentally added the mysterious chemical X, giving Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup superpowers like super strength, super speed, heat vision, and more. The girls protect their hometown of Townsville against a rogues gallery of villains, including Mojo Jojo, Fuzzy Lumpkins, and the mysterious Him. Their simple character design consists of basic shapes like ovals and circles, flat two-dimensional forms, and a lack of realistic body details like fingers, toes, and facial features like noses and ears. Their large saucer-shaped eyes were said to be inspired by the paintings of Margaret Keane, who is best known for her paintings of children with oversized eyes. After their debut in 1998, the Powerpuff Girls became a cartoon phenomenon with a total of 6 seasons on Cartoon Network, various specials, a feature film, as well as toys, video games, and even a 2016 reboot series. All right, let's get started with the Powerpuff Girls. As always, paper, pencil, eraser, and your inking markers. Remember, please make sure be careful around your furniture and your clothes with the inking markers. These are permanent markers and they will stain your skin and clothes and furniture, so be very, very careful. All right, let's take a look at our reference photo now. The Powerpuff Girls, we're going to draw all three. The Powerpuff Girls are probably going to be one of the most easy things we've drawn in this class so far because they are all built upon geometric shapes, curvilinear forms. And when I say curvilinear forms, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's lines that are curvy. So they have lots of curvy lines and ovals and circles. So these are actually going to be very easy to draw. So let's get started. Remember, with your pencil, keep a nice light touch at first, and we're just going to sketch out our basic shapes where everyone is going to go first. Now, Blossom is going to go in the center, so we're going to start by drawing an oval in the center, and then she's flanked by the other two, by Bubbles, who's going to go over here, and Buttercup, who's going to go over here. All right. But let's focus on Blossom first. Let's get her done. We could put the face lines in. And her body composition is she's a pill-shaped body, so it's just going to be like a rounded pill shape with her leg going, this one is going straight down, and then this one is going to be bent at the knee, but because of the perspective, you're only seeing the front of it. So you're just going to draw a little oval right there, and then we're going to draw the extent of that leg down this way. Her arms, their heads are so big that her arms, you don't even see where they connect to the body. They actually look like they're coming out of the head. They're not. They were supposed to, they're supposed to give the illusion that they're attached to the body somehow, but they're actually coming out of the head. So that's going to be one arm, and then this one's going to be going straight up. Now, we can take a look at their arms and legs. There's very little detail. Actually, there's no detail. They are just, basically they look like stumps. There's no differentiation of fingers. There's no toes. Their facial features, all they really have are two big saucer-sized eyes and a mouth. There's no nose, and that's it. So it's actually going to be pretty easy to draw. Let's draw, we already have the two arms in. Let's do before we do the eyes, let's do her bangs. She's going to have hair that's going down the front of her head. So we're just going to draw a line going across over here, and then we're going to draw notches into it. So there's going to be one notch there. There's going to be a big notch in the center. Use that vertical face line in there to help you find the center notch. And then a matching notch to this one on this side. So there's her bangs. And then we can draw her eyes. Her eyes are so big that they're going to be on either side of the head. So there's one, and there's two, all right? Leave about, a half an eye's length between the two eyes. You don't want them right next to each other. All right, so that's one eye. We're gonna put in one big pupil and another big pupil here and here. One big black iris, another one on the other side, and then a gleam that's going to be in the center. This is the part that we're going to keep white. This part we're going to shade black. So right now just go over with your pencil. That's going to be black. That's going to be white. And then this eventually is going to be pink. And then her face, her mouth is just simply a close letter U right in the center. Okay? She has a bow on top of her hair, but we're only seeing the bow part of it. We don't see the knot. So it actually looks like two little red, eventually red, bunny ears coming out the top. All right, that's going to be her bow. All right, we do see her hair. She has a ponytail, and it's going to be coming down on either side of the body, and then it's going to just flip up and then curve. So we're going to draw a line going down and then flip it up. A line going down on this side and flip it up. And then connect it with a curving line. All right, so that's her hair going behind her. This is her body. She's got a black belt. And then that's the line of her pants. This is going to be her shoe, and she's wearing little Mary Janes. So she's got a little black shoe with a little white. This part will be white. You'll see this all better once we ink. And then we're going to see a little white oval there, and that's the black part of her Mary Jane. Let's just darken the face line in there so we know which one to darken. And that is Blossom. Let's do Bubbles. Now, both Bubbles and Buttercup are 3/4 side view. So they're not like Blossom, who in the center, who's going to have the forward-facing face line of the plus sign. This one's going to be slightly curved. So we're going to curve it this way. And then Buttercup is going to be curved in the opposite direction. Remember, these two characters are flanking this character. So they're going to be going in opposite directions. So let's start off with just Bubbles first. Three-quarter side view face lines. Almost like a string going around an egg. Crisscrossing around an egg. All right? She has got her hair in ponytails. So she's got, or pigtails rather. Let's go one little pigtail. Let's do it a little further up. There we go. And then the other one is going to be over here, but we don't see the tip of it. We only see the thicker part of it right there. All right? She's going to have one big giant eye over here that's covering most of her face. Big blue pupil, black iris, white dot for the gleam. And she's going to have another eye over here, but remember, this is a 3/4 side view character. We're not seeing the entire eye, so it's going to look a little bit smaller. And we see the pupil and the blue. And then that gleam will be right there. And this is just just shade in what we're going to be inking later. All right, same thing. She's got a little letter U right where that vertical line is. All right, her body composition is similar to Blossom's, except we're going to see a side view. So we're going to see a leg going down. Still, it's very simple to draw. It's almost like a drop. This is her backside, and then this is the leg that's bent upwards. All right, that'll be her belt, where her stockings start, and that's her Mary Jane. Same as Blossom, her arms are going to be coming out of her head, or seemingly out of her head. We're to think that they're coming out of the side of her body, but we don't see it because her head is so big. You can get away with a lot with a stylized body. A stylized body is done in the style of a certain artist or a certain way of drawing. This is definitely not a realistically drawn little girl body. This is a stylized body. Okay, so there's her two arms coming out of the side of her head. Let's move over to Buttercup. Buttercup, I think, has the most difficult hair to draw. I've tried it during some practice drawings, and I find it a little difficult because it is so, I guess because of the black, it's hard to figure out where her hair starts and where her pupil begins. You'll see it as we draw it. So she's got this parted in the middle, short haircut that sort of goes up into these little devil points right here. She's supposed to be the rough and toughest one of the bunch, so I think that might be what they were going for with her character design. So she's got her hair going across, and then, like I said, into these little devil points with a little notch in the center. The notch in the center helps us locate where her eyebrow's going to be, and her eyebrow's going to be furrowed. She's going to have a furrowed brow. She's going to be making sort of like, not a mean face, but I guess a tough face. And one big eye. Again, one big eye on one side. And not as big on the other side, but still pretty big. And these characters are basically walking eyeballs. They're so big. We don't even see the whites of her eyes over here except the gleam. And the same little U for her smile. Okay, let's just shorten this line over here so you can see that it looks furrowed and it's not getting in the way of the hairline. Okay, let's do her body. Her body's going to be similar to Bubbles' body, except it's going to be going in the opposite direction. So let's just do the drip. You know, that one leg that looks like a drip here. Her backside, and that's the bent leg. There's her belt. There's her stockings and her Mary Jane. Her arms, same as her sister's, coming out of the sides of her head. There's going to be one here. And the other one, again, slightly smaller, coming out over here. And no, it's not a realistically drawn little girl, but it definitely gets the point across. Okay, so now we have our pencil lines in. Probably the quickest pencil lines we've ever done. So let's take our time and ink it properly. If we look at the reference drawing, they have very thick outlines. This is very similar to, let's say, some of the Hanna-Barbera characters that we've done in this show. In fact, the first 4 seasons of the Powerpuff Girls was animated by the Hanna-Barbera company. So that's definitely where they get their influence from, especially also those 2-dimensional flattened shapes, which the girls are composed of, and basically every character that's in the show. So let's start with Blossom. Do the head first, and you just have to go all the way around. Okay. We'll do her bangs before we do anything else. And we can do her bow. The eyes, we're going to go ahead and ink the line around the perimeter of each eye. Then do a line for the colored part of the eye. All right. Then the line for the black iris. Then a line for the white gleam. Then we go back and we color in what we shaded earlier. Okay, just do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and put in the smile. Let's do this leg since it's the one that's bending out towards the viewer. This part right here is going to be the white of her stocking, so we're going to keep that white, and then everything else we're going to do black. Okay. Then we have this line going down for her torso that's stretching into this leg that's extending down. This band right here, we're going to color this in black. Okay. This line will be where her shirt starts and her shirt stops and her pants start, or stockings, white stockings. And then the little black Mary Janes. All right, we can do the hair behind her. Remember that hair is going behind her, so we have to not ink that line all the way through. We take little breaks in between where the body's coming down and cutting it off. Let's do this arm. I guess the thing to remember when we're inking the Powerpuff Girls, and we can actually take a look at the reference photo, they have very clean lines, so try to be as smooth as possible with your inking. And again, that comes with experience. You'll get a confident inking line. So keep practicing. Let's do bubbles. A little pigtail first. The head all the way around, because all the features are inside that one shape. And the other pigtail. Okay. The eye. The other eye. The color line. The black. And the gleam. Really think about what, because there's so many eye lines, make sure that you are correct with what you're coloring in black, what you're leaving white, and what you're coloring in with the actual color of the eye. Okay. Go ahead and do this side. Here is the black. That's the color line, and that'll be the white. So the black is going to go here. Let's actually make this one a little bit bigger. Just a tad. Smooth that line out. All right, we can do her arm here, arm there. This is the bent leg. Okay, let's do Buttercup on this side. Do your best to keep your lines as clean as possible. As you can see, I still make mistakes too, and that's quite all right. Okay, so this is gonna be all black hair. Okay, and her smile. Let's do the bent knee first. And the good thing about drawing 3 little girls at once is you get used to it. This is the 3rd time around with the same outfit, and I pretty much know what I'm doing now. Just remember, if I'm going a little too fast when it comes to inking, you could always rewind and watch again. Okay. All right, so we have all our inking done. So let's take a little bit of time and just clean up our original pencil lines. All right, I think we're ready to color. Let's start with Blossom, and we'll do her orange hair. One thing I noticed while I was coloring in the orange is she has a couple of little notches at the bottom of her ponytail. There and there. Again, just making it look a little more like hair. Let's do red for her bow. Pink for her eyes, which I always found odd. But it's a cartoon show. And also her dress, but remember when we color in their dresses or their shirts, you're gonna color in the top part above the black band, and then the part right below the black band, and everything else is gonna stay white. Okay, we have a little bit of flesh tone for their skin. And that'll be on their face and their arms. Everything else is white. Okay, let's move on to Bubbles. She has blonde hair, so we'll use yellow. She has light blue eyes that match the color of her dress, so we're going to use the same color for the eyes as we do on the dress. So go ahead and do the eye here and here, and then do the dress. We're going to do the space above the black band and then the space right below the black band. There and there. Go in and do the flesh tone. And then Buttercup. Her hair's already done. Her eyes are green. That again, just like Bubbles, will match her dress. So go ahead and use the same color you do on her eyes as you do on the dress. Finish it up with the flesh tone. There we have it, the Powerpuff Girls.